Hey, come see us on tour in Los Angeles, Dallas, Texas, Austin, Baltimore, Atlantic City, Cohoes, New York, and Providence, Rhode Island. Get your tickets at jimmydore.com. That's where they're the most affordable. TikTok's back online after Trump pledged to restore it. After 12 hours after shutting itself down in the United States, TikTok is back for many users, almost like it never left, attributing to the return to President Trump. This is the statement from TikTok. In agreement with our service providers, TikTok is in the process of restoring service. We thank President Trump for providing the necessary clarity and assurance to our service providers that they will face no penalties providing TikTok to over 170 million Americans, 170 million Americans, and allowing over 7 million small businesses to thrive. It's a strong stand for the First Amendment and against an arbitrary. It actually was horrible for business. If they shut this down, literally 7 million businesses need TikTok. It's a strong stand for the First Amendment and against arbitrary censorship. We will work with the President Trump on a long-term solution that keeps TikTok in the United States. The whiplash move to bring the app back comes after TikTok became unusable for Americans late Saturday night. Users who tried to open the app at that time were met with a message saying it was offline and asking users to stay tuned. Early on Sunday, Trump said he would issue an executive order following his inauguration on Monday to delay the enforcement of the divest or ban law. And within hours, access to TikTok's app and webpage began to return to U.S. users. Hip, hip, hooray. Well, by the way, they banned us twice already. So we're not allowed on TikTok. So it's kind of bittersweet for me. Trump may be poised to score a major political victory by claiming responsibility for bringing back the popular platform. In a statement midday Sunday, TikTok said Trump's promise to save the app allowed it to restore U.S. users access even before his expected executive order is signed. Trump said Sunday in a Truth Social post that he plans to issue, well, he did. So he did all that. Trump has said he was considering a 90-day extension in the ban to give him time to work out a deal to sell the app to a non-Chinese owner. In his post, Trump, that's not the problem, by the way. That's all made up. The problem is Israel. Israel doesn't like TikTok because TikTok is 90% anti-Israel. And young people are on TikTok. That's what the problem is. And Israel controls our government, so they have to come up with a lie to get rid of TikTok. They go, oh, we're afraid of Chinese. Okay. In his post, Trump said he would seek a 50-50 joint venture between TikTok's existing parent company and a new American owner. Such an announcement could serve as a kind of immediate political victory for Trump with America's youth. You think? You think, CNN? Although Trump supported a TikTok ban, imagine if CNN had 170 million viewers in America. Although Trump supported a TikTok ban in his first term as president, he was recently said he wants to keep the app alive, posting on Truth Social Sunday saying, save TikTok. Yeah, he wants to keep it alive. There it is, save TikTok. He attributed his election victory in part to TikTok at a press conference at Mar-a-Lago in December. I have a warm spot in my heart for TikTok, he said, then claiming to have won the youth vote by a significant margin. And there are those that say that TikTok had something to do with it. I think it did. The law banning TikTok passed with strong bipartisan support in Congress because AIPAC owns both parties, citing national security concerns, double CK, although a Pew Research Center survey in 2023 found about half of Americans supported the ban. It has consistently proven unpopular with younger generations. Trump's executive order could face challenges, including from members of Trump's own party who say they opposed any extension of the ban. We commend Amazon, Apple, Google, and Microsoft for following the law and halting operations by TikTok. And we encourage our other companies to do the same. Who said that? Tom Cotton. And Pete Ricketts in Nebraska wrote in a joint statement Sunday, the law, after all, risks ruinous bankruptcy for any company who violates it. Now that the law has taken effect, there's no legal basis for any kind of extension of this. Oh, cut it out. Cotton and Ricketts, who are, I'm sure, 100% controlled by AIPAC, said TikTok should only come back online by severing all ties with TikTok and communist China. Only then will Americans be protected from the grave threat posed to their privacy. Oh, really? We live in a surveillance state. It's over. The Patriot Act happened. We have no privacy in America. The app's brief blackout marked the realization of a years-long effort to block U.S. access to TikTok over national security concerns related by its China-based owner. Outgoing President Biden signed a law last April that gave ByteDance 270 days to sell TikTok to an owner from the United States or one of its allies or face a ban. So even if Trump pledges to reverse the ban, he can't simply undo a law passed by Congress and signed by a president with an executive order. Glenn Greenwald says, the only thing's more stunning than watching the United States government forcibly close a speech, information, and community social media platform that 170 million of its citizens voluntarily chose to use is seeing that it's Trump, almost alone in Washington, D.C., fighting to keep it open. Laugh my ass off. Trump actually did save TikTok. The Democrats just keep handing Trump easy wins. Unbelievable. Even Nina Turner, that fake phony, says the TikTok ban was initiated by Trump, passed through the House and Senate along bipartisan lines, yet because President Biden signed the bill into law, Democrats allowed Trump to be the hero on this politically. Absolutely malpractice by leadership. Michael Tracy says Biden blocking implementation of TikTok ban at the last minute following months in which he could be rightly blamed by young voters for banning TikTok would be yet another pitch-perfect example of Democrats' political ineptitude. They are. But the real reason this is happening, oh, look, Meta shatters lobbying. So Facebook didn't want it because Instagram and Facebook compete with TikTok. A new disclosure reveals Instagram owner Meta spent more than ever on lobbying Congress and the White House as legislation to potentially ban its competitor TikTok was drawn up and passed. Oh, by the way, lawmakers who voted to ban TikTok own a ton of tech stocks. They own millions of stock in Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, and Snap, companies that could benefit from a TikTok ban. Also, AIPAC wants TikTok banned. So that's a lot of different. And so if you want to know, when I say TikTok, I'm not kidding. Here's Antony Blinken, the Secretary of State, and Mitt Romney, Senator, admit that the U.S. wants to ban TikTok. Why? Because of Israel. Watch this.
Typically, the Israelis are good at PR. What's happened here? How have they and we been so ineffective at communicating the realities there and our point of view?
Look, I think there are two things. One is that, look, there is an inescapable reality, and that is the inescapable reality of people who have and continue to suffer grievously in Gaza, and that's real. And we have to be focused on that and attend to that. At the same time, how this narrative has evolved, yeah, it's a great question. I don't have a good answer to that. One can speculate about what some of the causes might be. I don't know. I can tell you this. We were talking about this a little bit over dinner with Cindy. I think in my time in Washington, which is a little bit over 30 years, the single biggest change has been in the information environment. And when I started out in the early 1990s, everyone did the same thing. You woke up in the morning, you opened the door of your apartment, your house, you picked up a hard copy of the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal. And then if you had a television in your office, you turned it on at 6:30 or 7 o'clock and watched the national network news. Now, of course, we are on an intravenous feed of information with new impulses, inputs every millisecond. And of course, the way this is played out on social media has dominated the narrative. And you have a social media ecosystem environment in which context, history, facts get lost, and the emotion, the impact of images dominates. And we can't discount that. But I think it also has a very, very, very challenging effect on the narrative.
Yeah, a small parenthetical point, which is some wonder why there was such overwhelming support for us to shut down potentially TikTok or other entities of that nature. If you look at the postings on TikTok and the number of mentions of Palestinians relative to other social media sites, it's overwhelmingly so among TikTok broadcasts. So I'd note that's of real interest, and the president will get the chance to make action in that regard.
That's what that's about. And here's the guy who's the head of the ADL, Anti-Defamation League, which is they call everybody anti-Semites. And here's what he says.
You must take this deadly seriously. Pushing extremists off Wikipedia might not seem equal to the challenge of pushing Hezbollah north of the Litani River. Capturing TikTok might seem less meaningful than holding on to Mount Hermon. Libelous tweets certainly might seem less deadly than missiles from Yemen. But this is urgent because the next war will be decided based on how Israel and its allies perform online as much as offline.
There you go. There's the head of the ADL. There's Mitt Romney out just saying it. The reason why we banned TikTok is because there's too pro-Palestinian on TikTok. That's the problem. And Israel, AIPAC, controls our government. There you go. Hey, come see us on tour in Los Angeles, Dallas, Texas, Austin, Baltimore, Atlantic City, Cohoes, New York, and Providence, Rhode Island. Get your tickets at jimmydore.com. That's where they're the most affordable.